Being a good director, being a helpful director that can put your subject at ease makes a difference. All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's episode, I want to give you some tips as a director. And these are things that I say before every interview I conduct starts. And the purpose of these things is to be helpful and to put the people at ease. In my kind of formal video production job that I do, I get to travel a lot and I get to interview a lot of people. Usually sitting down with them for 30 to 45 minutes and just talking to them about their life, what's going on, what things have impacted their life, maybe some challenges that they've faced. And then I take all that footage and I put it together into a 3 to 4 minute really compelling story. So I've sat down and I've interviewed a lot of different people, and I will tell you that being a good director, being a helpful director that can put your subject at ease makes a difference. So these are some things that I say when somebody walks into the room for their interview. These are things that I actually say every single time. And the first thing that I say when they come in and they've sat down is, where should they look? Now, for most interviews, I have people looking off camera. This just seems to be kind of a natural way for it to feel not as formal and also conversational. So they're looking off camera. A lot of times I might even have somebody sitting there that is a friendly face that's asking them the questions. And I tell them, you're gonna be looking at so-and-so, and if you could just kind of keep your eye contact on them. We don't want you looking over at the camera, trying to catch a glance. It's not an episode of The Office. So, kind of keep your eyes on this person. Or if they're sitting with their spouse, I'll tell them, you can also look at your spouse, y'all can agree. But just try to either look at this person, at each other, or, don't just be kind of staring off into space as if you don't care about what's going on. So where they're looking, that's kind of one of the first things that I tell them, and that's a really helpful tip. The next thing that I say is just to let you know, we're always rolling. So once we get the interview started, I'm not gonna yell out, action, ready, set, go. I'm not gonna announce anything. We're trying to put them at ease. So I might remind them that, we're always rolling. So, once we ask a question, feel free to take your time, but then answer when you're ready. So that's an important thing, to just let them know that you're always rolling. The next thing that I'll say is probably the most important thing that I'll say, and that is reiterate your question as a part of your answer. Meaning, when we ask you a question, what is your favorite color? Which that's probably not a question I'm gonna ask, but it's an example that I always give. I say, if I were to ask you, what is your favorite color? What would you say? And, if they're picking up on what I'm saying, they would, answer, my favorite color is blue. If they don't quite understand, they might just say blue. Well, we need them to give some context to the question that we asked, because we're not going to hear the person ask the question. Once you have that intro statement, them reiterating the question as a part of their answer, that's going to help you a lot as an editor. So, you're not over stressing this or making them feel uncomfortable while you're telling them this tip, but just, reminding them, please, just give some context for your answer. And I will tell you, this is something that, some people are good at, some people are not as good at. Teachers are really great at speaking in complete sentences, which is what you're asking them to do. Just speak in complete sentences. And if you're, midway through an interview and people just continually are not doing this, it's just an easy thing to remind them. Would you please just, reiterate the question as a part of your answer? Or, you might even have to have them go back and just say an intro. Can you give me the first 2 sentences again and just kind of reiterate the question? You can't stress this enough. This is something that you've got to tell your subject before you interview them, and something that you just need to keep in mind while you're directing. Because we all know that directors and editors kind of have this relationship. A good director is thinking about how they're going to edit together the story. So you've got to be mindful of this during the interview. All right, that last tip was pretty long. This next one is pretty short, but I just remind people to share from their heart. We don't give people the questions ahead of time most of the time. unless they've got some, very specific details that they're supposed to share. So I just remind them, just share from the heart. We're not going to ask you a question that will stump you or, kind of leave you hanging and we're staring at you waiting for you to talk. We're just going to ask a question, when you're ready, just, think it through and then just give us your answer. Just remind them and encourage them, just share from your heart. All right, the last tip, it's an important one, but it's pretty simple, and that's just body language. And this is not actually something that you're telling people during an interview, but it's something that you yourself as a director need to be mindful of, and that's your body language. If you're there during the interview just kind of looking around, not really looking engaged, not giving some non-verbal cues that you agree or that you like what you're hearing, that can sometimes be discouraging to a subject and they're just going to get more and more nervous. So remember, the key here is to be helpful and to put people at ease. And I've found that, just being mindful of my body language is really helpful. Don't be, looking at your phone constantly, just like checking your email or something. That's gonna show them that you're not really interested in what they're saying. So even if you're standing behind the camera where they can't really see you, you still got to have kind of your director's cap on, really thinking about how you're presenting yourself, how you're encouraging this person, how you're being helpful and putting them at ease. Okay, I think that's it for today. I just wanted to share those kind of helpful tips of things that I say before every interview I conduct starts. So, practice, maybe write a couple of these things down if you're not used to conducting a lot of interviews, and just, try to just be encouraging and try to put your subject at ease. If this video was helpful for you, hit that subscribe button, give me a thumbs up. I look forward to seeing you in the next episode. I'll see you next time.